And welcome back to my channel. So today I have another fall look for you guys. I took to Instagram and asked y'all what you would like to see, and I got a lot of different suggestions, some more neutral looks, some more dramatic and smoky looks. So I decided to do something that's a little bit in between. Basically, you can do this look two ways. This look that I'm wearing exactly how it is right now is more on the dramatic side, and the one quick way to make it not as dramatic and a little bit more neutral or everyday wearable is to just skip out on doing the wing liner on top. But other than that, I definitely did include using the Morphe 35O palette, because definitely almost like every suggestion was that I use this palette, and I think it's because it just recently became back in stock on the Morphe website, so I'm sure some of you finally got your hands on it and are really eager to see some more looks with it. I mean, it's a really great palette. It's definitely one of my favorites, so I did do that for you guys. I think this look is really fall appropriate as well. It's very red, copper tone eyes, which I think is really complimentary for a whole bunch of different eye colors. If you have green or hazel eyes like mine, this is going to be even more complimentary to your eye color, and it's just to make them stand out even more. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you do, let me know down below. Let me also know what you want to see next, and I'll see you guys in my next video. So now let's move on to the tutorial. Alright guys, so to start off this look, I'm going to be using my MAC paint pot in soft ochre as always. As you can tell, look, I finally got a new one. I finally finished my old one, and let me tell you, there is nothing like cracking open a fresh paint pot. Everything just so much more creamy. So I'm going to be spreading this eye primer all over my entire eyelid space. So using the Morphe 35O palette, I'm taking this ivory matte shadow, and we're going to be stamping this all over the entire eyelid just to set that eye base. Make sure you want to be generous with this. Then for the next shade we're going to be using is going to be this muted orange, and I'm using this with my Bobbi Brown eye blender brush, and really what we're going to be doing is just going back and forth in the crease, switching between back and forth motions and circular motions. And this shade is pretty light. It doesn't give off too much of a color payoff at first, so I did go back in and layer about 3 or 4 times to get it to that intensity that I was really looking for. Then we're going to be going in and just adding a little bit of coolness with this more of a taupe beigey brown matte shade, and with the same brush and just over on the same area and exactly in the same motions as well. Then taking this brighter orange just to give a little bit more of a warmth and a little bit more of this burnt orange copper look, and again with the same brush, same area, same motions. As you can tell, we're doing my favorite thing, which is layering, because let me tell you, it creates a blend like no other. Then going in with this really yucky color that, I mean, it's like a color that isn't really appealing, but let me tell you, it is definitely an essential color to have. I love this color because it reminds me of Bobbi Brown's Camel, which you guys know I really love, so this is a really good dupe for that shadow. Then taking a little bit of this more brown charcoal matte shade, and with the same brush, but this time only focusing this in circular motions on the outer V, and building it up to a pretty good intensity, but nothing too dark yet. Then taking the NYX white cream eye base, and on a flat shader brush, I'm going to be pressing this all over my entire front lid space just below my crease. And in order to find where to find my crease or how far up I should go, I like to actually blink. And then as you can see now when I'm looking down, I have a line to where my crease line actually touched and transferred up into my crease. This gives me the indication of how far up I should go, so I don't go too far up, but I also don't go up far enough. And then just really smoothing it out. And also you want to just kind of take off any excess as much as you can, because having too much of this cream base will defeat the purpose and you'll just get all creasy. Then I'm picking up that copper metallic shade from the palette, and on that same flat shader brush cleaned off, I'm just going to be pressing and sliding this onto that whole entire space where we had layered on the white base. And then I'm going to be going in with a little bit of this more champagne color, also metallic, but just on the center and on the ball of our eye, just to add a little bit more of a pop and 3D dimension. Then with my Real Techniques Essential Crease Brush, I am taking this brown maroonish metallic shade and also just going into the crease area and back and forth and tighter circles just to really help blend out this crease, because we don't want it to be choppy, we want it to be very nice and well blended. And then going into this deeper, more of like a penny color, and again, just layering on top of that. And then finally taking a little bit of a mixture between these two dark browns. I am then just going to be really focusing on building the outer V of the eye only, just to give it a little bit more depth and also just to elongate our eye a little bit. And as you can tell, I'm just really going in small circular motions, just in a V shape along the outer V of my eye. P.S. Don't mind that noise. It was just my phone going off. So rude. I'm so sorry. Anyway, then I'm going to be taking a clean real hair blending brush and just going along the edges of my crease just to make sure that everything is buffed out nicely. I like to do this just to pick up any excess shadow that's making our eye look a little bit choppy, just in case. And I do this for like a little bit just to really make sure I pick up any excess product, also so you don't have any fallout later on. I'm then going to just be kind of retouching up the red areas if they got a little bit lost in the whole blending of the crease. I did do my brow off camera. You guys, I have a whole brow tutorial on my channel in case you are interested in seeing that. So definitely search up my brow tutorial listed there on my videos, and it has a full in-depth tutorial on how I fill in my brows. Then I'm going to be placing on my liner as usual, kind of going somewhat dramatic but not too much. Again, if you want to keep this look more on the soft side, definitely skip the eyeliner. I'm using my inglot gel liner in 77 for this. For my face, I'm going to be using my Marc Jacobs Coconut Primer, smoothing this all over. It's getting a little bit cooler and drier where I'm at right now, so any little bit of extra moisture can help me a little bit, even though I am oily. Then I'm going to be taking my Marc Jacobs foundation. I believe this is the Undetectable foundation if I'm not mistaken, but I'll have it listed down below in the correct name. I'm trying it out. It was sent to me along with the primer, so I am just kind of giving it a go. So far, so good. I am liking it. If you guys would like a full review on it, let me know. I'm just going to be dotting this around the areas of my face very lightly because let me tell you, if it's one thing I've learned about this foundation, it is full coverage. I'm buffing it out with the Marc Jacobs brush that it was sent with as well. And if you can tell by this shot right here, I mean, this is a full coverage foundation. As you can tell, it just instantly took away my redness because it has a lot of yellow in it, which I do appreciate, but it also just evened out my skin tone tremendously. But the cool thing about this is that it's very thin, so it doesn't feel very heavy. It just has a lot of pigmentation in it. Also, the brush is really good too so far, since it has really soft bristles, but it's also very large, so it covers a wide area of space, so it kind of gets your foundation smoothed out really fast. But I think this foundation would be more suited for those that are oily. It gives you a more natural satin finish for those of you who are oily. And if you're dry, I can imagine that this wouldn't be hydrating enough. To cover up any of my dark circles or under eye redness, I am using the Benefit Boing Concealer in shade 1 and just stamping this right underneath my eye with my MAC I believe this is a 232 brush. Okay, way off. It was the 287. Sorry, I don't really know the names of my MAC brushes just because I only own like 2 of them, and that's pretty sad, I know. But anyway, I'm then taking my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NC15 just to highlight the center of my face, which is underneath my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, and center of my forehead, and blending this all out with a damp beauty blender just to kind of melt it into the foundation and pick up any excess product. For contouring, I'm going to be using the LA Girl Pro Conceal in Beautiful Bronze, and I'm first placing a stripe across my forehead and then down the sides of my temples, just because I have a little bit of a broader area in those areas, and that is kind of where I like to bring my forehead in a little bit. Also just kind of down the sides, connecting to my cheekbone contour, tapering it off as I go more towards my mouth, a little bit on the bottom side of my chin, jawline, around my lip line area, also in the center of my cupid's bow. I'm also going to place a little bit on the side of my nose, and then kind of bringing it back down to where my nostril begins. And then also, of course, across the tip of my nose. I know I put some of my cupid's bow. There you go. I don't know where the clip went. And I'm speeding through this because I'm basically just blending this out again with my damp beauty blender. Nothing too special here. You just really want to make sure you are blending this out in the appropriate zones. To set everything, I'm first going to be using these 2 highlighting shades from the NYX Highlight and Contour palette. And I'm just going to be pressing this underneath my eye area and also pretty much anywhere we had placed the MAC concealer, just to set and really help make sure that that highlighted area stays nice and bright. Then I'm going to be warming up my skin tone with the Benefit Hoola Bronzer. I already hit pan on this bronzer, and I'm so sad because this has seriously become my favorite bronzer ever. So probably definitely repurchasing this once I totally run out. But just dusting this along my forehead, bottom of my nose, and chin. To sharpen up my contour, I'm using this contour shade from the NYX palette as well with my Luxie large angle brush, just using the tip of it to really help chisel out beneath my cheekbones. Also, whatever is left on my brush to just kind of dust over my temples, and then resharpening up my contour and just dusting over the banana shade from that palette right underneath there. Then I'm just going to be retouching up and setting around my lip line area, cupid's bow, and sides of my nose. To add a little bit of a glow, I am layering, and I'm fast forwarding through this again just to show you guys how many times I dip my brush into my highlighter just to get this really intense highlight, because I want to be seen like from space, if you know what I'm saying, with this highlight. And then using my fingers to place a stripe down the bridge of my nose and across my cupid's bow. For blush, I am using Rose Copper blush from Jelly Pong Cosmetics, or it's from Jelly Pong from So Susan Cosmetics. I'm still getting familiar with that brand name, but it's definitely become one of my favorite blushes. I've used it a few times on here before, and it just really complemented the tones in our eyes really well. Then for my lips, I already placed down the ColourPop Ultra Matte Liquid Lipstick in Midi. Then I'm taking a NYX lip liner, I believe this is pale pink, just to define my edges, and then stamping Anastasia's Gilded Lip Gloss in the center for a bit of a highlight. To finish off the eyes, I'm taking this soft metallic shade and just highlighting my brow bone and very lightly in my tear duct with that shade. Then to finish off the bottom part of our eye, I am using the Inglot gel liner once more to line my waterline. Then setting everything with the MAC 212 brush, and also just pressing up the espresso matte shades that we had used on our outer V, layering on a little bit of the metallic red that we use, and then just basically buffing everything out with the colors that we had layered in our crease. You guys know I love to just buff out my bottom lash line with this technique. Then I'm going to be using Huda Beauty lashes in the style Carmen. These lashes are new to me, so to loosen up the band a little bit because they were a little bit thick, I am just kind of bending and playing with them in my fingers and just twisting it to loosen it up and make it more manageable, and then popping those right on after I have applied some mascara to my top and bottom lashes. And this is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, again, let me know down below. And on Wednesday, I will see you guys with a new video, and keep an eye out because there will be a giveaway announcement in that video. So until then, bye guys.